All right, everybody, welcome on in to the Hot Corner, where it's NorCal Sports and Giant Sports Talk Live every Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And this is the Sunday night of all Sunday nights, guys. We're not even upset that the Giants lost to the stinking Dodgers, tying in first place. Because why? Because you heard it earlier, but Rafael Devers is coming to the San Francisco Giants. I'm sure that's going to be the main topic of discussion tonight and what it means going forward. So here we are, Giants Sports Talk Live and NorCal Sports Network. NorCal Sports Network has Chapman Law Group to thank as a sponsor. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Chapman Law Group. Give them a call, 415-613-9483. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. If you got a personal injury situation, do not settle with an insurance company before calling Chapman Law Group. All right, guys. You got your sponsor, I'm sure, or two or three or four.
Go for it, Glenn.
Go ahead, Eric. I like
All
the
right.
tries to remember them all.
Yeah. We got Lefties in Burlingame. If you want to go get all your sports card memorabilia, go to Lefties in Burlingame. You also got Signatures for Soldiers, help out the veterans, both that are down on their luck or disabled. And then we got Duxwell Printing for all your printing needs in the San Francisco Bay Area. Genesis Gold. If you want to go buy gold, good luck. It's expensive. And then the last one. What did the Giants do today, Glenn?
They used the credit card from bettercreditcards.com.
Yeah, just a little bit, man. They're going to have to break open the bank for
Get a
this
couple
deal.
credit cards.
Yeah, what is it they're absorbing? What is it? 200 and something million, right? Something like that.
Oh, chicken feed.
I agree. 100% agree.
I love this comment by NorCal Sports Talk Live. Giants are a serious organization again. This was a shot across the bow. Guys, I don't know how you all feel about it. I love this trade. This is a trade that you think about it. What's the one thing the Giants cannot do in free agency?
Lure the guy with, you can't.
They cannot get a hitter.
They can't.
You got a guy for 8.5 seasons. And, I'm sure the last 2-3 years you're going to be going, crap, we're stuck with this. But you know what? That's part of anything. Any contract you give, whether it's Bogarts or Machado or Harper or Soto or Judge,
Ohtani.
All those guys the last couple years of the deal, you're eating it. You're just going to eat it. You're paying up front. But this is a move that makes the Giants true contenders. We've been talking about, are they contenders or pretenders? Mm-hmm. They're contenders now. I mean,
100%. Right. What is the one thing the Giants were lacking in this lineup? That middle of the order bat, the one where the pitcher is on the mound and he's shaking in his boots. How am I going to get through this guy? Man, I love it, dude. I'm telling you. Best trade. Look, I'm saying it's the biggest trade in San Francisco Giants history. It is. It's the biggest damn trade, considering the players involved. Look what the Giants had to give up compared to who they got. I understand people talk about Jeff Kent, but Jeff Kent really wasn't anything really that spectacular. Right?
At the time, he wasn't. No.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, this is
Kevin Mitchell. Yeah, people talk about Kevin Mitchell. Okay, that was big, but it's nothing like on Rafael Devers.
Yeah, I mean, those other trades could turn out to be better as far as the way they panned out. Kent.
There you go. Right,
and
true.
Mitchell, but you don't know. But at the time, Devers is an actual, he's a star. I think somebody said it. Might have been Clayton Kershaw, that he's a top 10 hitter in the game.
Yeah, I think he said that on the broadcast, right?
Yeah, on the broadcast. Those guys were saying, they know. Mookie Betts after the game was talking, and he was like, they asked him the question, the anchor on ESPN, do you guys worry about them, or do you guys just think about we're us and they're them? He just said, oh, we're us and we're them, but this is definitely makes them, better team. So we'll see. Love to get everybody's thoughts as we go around the horn here. So
go for it, Glenn. Let's hear it, man.
Well, I've had a chance now. I was a little crusty at first, but I think as things fall into place, you knew you had to give up. You knew you had to give up pitching. You knew. And we all knew. Listen, was it a surprise that we gave up Kyle Harrison in the big deal? No, it was not. Tibbs, a little bit, but again, you don't know. He could be a world beater. He could be as Buster calls it, a superstar. But you don't know. He could be a bust. So to throw him in this early stage, Jordan Hicks.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Hicks. Will he be missed?
No.
Jose Bello?
I don't even know
19.
who that is.
He's 19, and he's not even in their top 30 prospects.
No, exactly.
The only thing that I was worried about earlier, and time will tell. I was listening to WEEI in Boston, and a lot of fans over there
not happy.
We're like, geez, what? We didn't get anything, and they're saying this is the best we could get. The guy has been known to be a cancer in the locker room. So how's it going to play? Is he going to be happy now all of a sudden? Is he going to be happy in San Francisco? I mean, in Boston the last 2 years, it's been his way or no way at all. So hopefully he comes here with a good attitude, fits right into the locker room, does what he's told, does what he's asked for. And like I said to you earlier today, Eric, boy, I'll tell you what, did we ever pick ourselves up a cleanup hitter in a hurry? Just boom.
Yeah. 100%, dude. 100%.
And it's the one thing that you couldn't do, like Dan says. You couldn't sign. You can't sign a player to come here. Now all of a sudden you got a guy. Well, guess what? Get that attitude in check, and you're going to be here for a long time.
There you go.
Yeah,
Lou! Go ahead, Dan.
Lou,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Lou. Your thoughts. You were unavailable this afternoon.
I think it shows us that we're serious. If you look at the stats, he's now our leader in every single category. And in the last 10 years, probably the last 5 years, we've been saying we got to do something big. And I think what this does is this tells MLB Network that we're serious. I have not been a big fan of Harrison. I have said it for the last couple of times, and the chat's all over me. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he's as special as it comes out. I think he's a bust. I don't think he's now had 2 years where he can't find the plate. He struggles. And, he's now going to go to a ballpark, and you're going to see what's going to happen. He's going to go to a ballpark where the ball explodes. He's going to have a tough time keeping the ball in the ballpark. It's shorter. He had a chance at Oracle. It also, I think, making this trade, I think it means Chapman maybe is his injury is a little bit more serious. Because why?
I'm not so sure about that, Lou.
Well,
they
why?
Pretty got a good report.
Yeah, I'm just saying why? Because we didn't wait. I can't remember the Giants making a trade this early. We are still just halfway through June. I love it that we didn't wait another 6 weeks. I think, this shows that we're serious. Buster's serious, and I think what's good is it helps the fans. I think the fans know that we were missing a lot. And, maybe, we didn't really give up much. Hicks, I think, was picked in the last week.
Nothing.
And the other thing, too, is we don't have to pay Hicks $10 million next year. Okay. It's money
12.
we now have back with us.
It's like 11 or 12.
Okay. And, I think it also makes our future stud, there's no pressure to bring him up now.
2 years, guys. Agreed. 2 years more on Hicks.
2 years of hack. Yes.
Let me break this down for you.
Sure.
The situation on the salary end is actually pretty good for the Giants. The Giants right now, before the Devers trade, were committed to $212 million on the competitive balance tax.
And the CBT is 240, right?
242, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
So this is the way this is going to play out. The hold on, let me pull it back up. I just got to bring it up. Okay, here we go. Nope, I got the wrong one. Where did the doggone thing go? Anyway, I had it in here, and I can't find it, but it's like 27. Devers signed for 10 years, 310 or something, 31 million. But like 7 million of his money's deferred every year. So he's only counting on the portion toward the luxury tax, like 20. I'll pull up Boston. He's still listed on Kotz.
Yeah, he's still in
with
Boston. Yeah, Boston. Yeah.
He's 27 million this year, 27 next year, 28.5, 27 through 29. And then I think he signed through 33. So he's signed for 8 more years, but it's like 29, 30 million. As the cap goes up, that's nothing. You think what it would cost to sign if Rafael Devers was a free agent, you would be looking at probably 10 years, 400 million.
Right.
To
Exactly.
try and get him.
Right.
So the fact that you got him for basically 8.5 years, and the net that you got rid of Jordan Hicks is 12 million, you're only talking about another 18, 19 million added. So they're still under the luxury tax. They're probably around 230. They still got about 12 million for some moves. And remember, if they trade for any free agents, if their salary's 20 million a year, it's really 10 or less than 10. You're only
because of how far along in the season you're
exactly.
on.
Yeah. So they've got room. It also allows them to possibly move off of Yaz, which is 9 million if they get another move that they want to make. There's all kinds of options that this does. So, and as far as the move being made now,
are you surprised? Oh, here we go. Are you surprised Boston said yes? I mean, that's crazy, dude.
The other day, recently, the owner of the Red Sox was reaching out to Devers, and Devers ignored his calls. And, you piss off a guy that's paying you. It's like he doesn't care what he gets back. He's just sending you packing.
I shall banish you to the kingdom of San Francisco. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He sent him to the other side of the country, man. He got banished. That's what happened.
Yeah, D-Shot, you're right. Get a starting pitcher now. That's what I think. I think the Giants need a starting pitcher, because I don't trust the fact of Roop and Birdsong in September. They've never been there. We don't know how long they'll last. But I'll say this, and I want to get Eric's thoughts on the deal, is somebody in the chat said, why now? And Lou was talking a little bit about it. I think Posey saw how bad this offense was the past 3 weeks and realized, I got to do something before we fall out of contention. And with Chapman being gone, it expedited it. It was like, I got to make sure that when Chapman comes back at the All-Star break, we're not, playing 2 games under 500 and we're 5-6 back of the wild card, because right now they're, 10-11 over. And it could fall apart quickly if you don't. I mean, how many games they got left till the All-Star game? Maybe 25?
Somewhere around there, right? It's like second week of July? Second week of July?
Yeah.
After the 4th, right?
I could count them real quick, but because it's curious. If you got 25 games, you could have an 8-17 stretch real quick.
Yeah, you could.
And you know what? We got this guy for how many more years, Eric? 8? 9? 8 years?
8.
So look, so now you got Chapman, you got Adames, Devers, all long-term. So not only does this trade expedite the quality of the club we've got and the competitiveness this year, but moving forward, when you add somebody out there in right field next year, hopefully, we all got our hopes high for what Eldridge will bring to this team. I think this moving forward, not just this year, this makes the Giants a competitive ball club for years to come.
Yeah, well, definitely. You're definitely projecting. There's no doubt about it. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. I see Greg talking about Tucker. Tucker ain't coming now. That's off the table. You already got your guy. You don't need to go get, you don't have to. Honestly,
20. By the way, 25 exact games left before
25. Hey, good call. Look at that. But man, I tell you, when that news broke, Dan, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Robbie Dizzle.
Change your underwear? Do you have to change your underwear?
I had to. Yeah.
Robbie Dizzle told me too.
He did. He called me. He's like, "Hey, did you see the news?" I was like, "What are you talking about? What news?" We got Devers. I was like, "Get out of here." He's like, "No." And all of a sudden I'm looking at our group text and it's blowing up. I'm like, "Oh, here we go. I guess this is legit." But I'm telling you, man, this is what did we say about Buster Posey? Is he going to be able to go out there and make those big moves? In the offseason, we were saying, "Hey, it looks like he may have not done enough." may have not done enough considering what he's talking about. And what did he say the other day? Let's go time. And I said this, right? If he's out there saying it's go time, well, then it's on him to go out there and do his job. The team, I will say the starting pitching and the bullpen minus Walker is doing the job. They're getting it done. They're staying competitive. The lineup is scoring just enough runs, but he, like you said, Dan, he realizes they need some more horsepower in that lineup. You don't have that threat. Now you have that threat sitting in either your number 3 or your cleanup. And
I agree. And
Eric, don't you think that you know what this is a real sign of, guys, in my opinion, is for the first time I'm honestly looking at Buster Posey. He's the non-traditional. You got all these GMs who've, how many of them never played the game? This guy knows these veteran hitters. He's been on the field with these guys. So for him to go out and get a guy, he knows. He must know what he's getting and why he wanted to bring him here.
I'll tell you another thing. This is what Mark's talking about. I'm not so sure it's a dead deal for Tucker coming to the Giants. The Giants have the money. They have the room.
They do.
And I just remember Yaz is gone. Flores is gone. They can add Tucker and stay under the luxury tax.
They could.
And if you mix Posey may want to make this a destination place. You have Chapman and Adames and Devers. Now you go to Kyle Tucker and say, well, I got protection.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
But then we also got to talk about, does he want to come to San Francisco? That's a big that's a story, right? Do people want to come to San Francisco? And it doesn't seem to be about the competition, because look, when the Giants were winning 3-5, did it lure anybody really? I mean, the big names, not really. But that being said, we don't know what Tucker wants to do. We just don't know. That's why this trade is huge, because the trade doesn't require the player that's involved to go, yep, I'm gonna sign on the dotted line. You're the property of the club. So if they want to trade you, if you don't have a no trade clause, well, then guess what? You're going to get shipped whatever they decide you to go.
What did I say to you earlier today, Eric? If this thing never worked out, if he doesn't like the Bay, he don't want to be, dude, you tell me you can't trade him and get more than you just gave up? Nah. And the fact we're talking about Tucker, I mean, that tells you just how close this team is. It's just on the cusp right now.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. That's for sure.
There's pieces there. And I tell you, are the Dodgers going to be running a little scared? You see who starts the opener tomorrow night against the San Diego Padres? When Shohei Ohtani getting his nod on the mound tomorrow night.
Yep.
Yeah. I think
Padres aren't finished though.
Hutch says Casey to second, Fitz to first, Wilmer stays DH, Devers. I think what happens is I think he's the DH. I think he's the DH. And I think what happens is, assuming Casey's okay, he's got a little contusion. Look, Devers hasn't played third base all year. He's not even taken that many grounders. He didn't put him at third base when Bregman went out. I don't think I think the Giants want Schmidt at third, and they're going to just put Devers at the DH. Flores is going to start playing first base when they face a left-handed batter. Dominic Smith will be in the lineup when they're facing right-handers. And Wilmer Flores, this deepens your bench. Now you have a guy. How would you like to have had Wilmer Flores come up tonight instead of Encarnacion with 2 outs?
Absolutely.
I mean, don't you think you're a much better team if Wilmer Flores is pinch hitting with 2 out,
100%.
a rundown, than Encarnacion? Please.
Coming in and striking out.
That is the position that Wilmer's going to go to. He's going to play. He's going to get his at-bats. He's just probably going to lose some at-bats, but it might be better in the long run. Maybe Flores has more left in the tank in September, because keep in mind, Wilmer hasn't had like 600 at-bats in a long time that I recall. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll have to look up his baseball reference and see what the most at-bats Wilmer's had in the last few years. Let's see. Wilmer had 525 and 22 last year, 250. Of course, he was injured, or 214. Excuse me, he was injured. But 405, 525, then 389. Forget 2020, 198, but 265, 386, 336, 307. See, Wilmer's never had this type of season where he's like had sick, playing every day, 162. I think this makes the Giants stronger, gives them a bench. And I think Encarnacion is, when Devers gets added to the roster for Tuesday, I think he's the guy that's gone. What do you think? Do you think it's Encarnacion, or
he's gone?
Or do they send costs down because he has?
No, I'd rather keep costs. I'd rather keep costs than Encarnacion. Yes, he's doing nothing. In the outfield, he drops a ball, transferring the ball from glove to hand. At first base, he misses a simple throw. And granted, if they let him go, he's going to wind up getting DFA'd, but I don't think anyone picks him up. He's just not doing anything right now. Cost, I think, has a little bit more value. Look what was able to happen today. You got Schmidt, who got hurt, and then you're able to bring him in at third base, and he did a decent job over there at third base. Encarnacion can't do that. So, I think Encarnacion's going to be a guy.
Did they move Fitzgerald to second and put
yes?
Okay,
I saw Fitzgerald at second at the end of the game.
Went over to third.
Yeah. Now look at this.
Oh, go ahead.
Check this out. I don't know if you saw this. Buster Posey said he's been talking to the Red Sox about Devers for a few weeks. Posey said the bat is so special, it's really hard to acquire this type of talent at this point of his career. It felt like this was a chance to take a shot.
I like it.
Wow.
Somebody asked me, when we went live this afternoon, somebody asked me, well, why now? Why didn't you just let Harrison pitch? And it was Giovanni, of course, trying to come at me. And I said, Giovanni, do you understand one thing? What happens if Harrison goes out there and blows his arm up?
Blows his arm out.
And now you got to, okay. Oh, wait. We got to make the deal work. We want Birdsong now.
Yeah.
Or Wizenhunt.
Right. And you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
baseball.
I think it's interesting that the trigger was pulled literally 10 minutes before. Harrison was warming up in the bullpen. There's a reason it was pulled now. What happens if Harrison, there's another side. What happens if Harrison goes and gets rocked and just looks awful, and Boston has second thoughts and goes.
Right.
Well, Dan, how many times in baseball history we've seen it in the last, it seemed to be more in the 80s, but how many times have you watched a ball game, Dan? In the 1980s, when I was really big into it as a teenager, and the guy's, he's in the on deck circle in a game, and he's called back and sent down the runway, start packing. Yeah. I mean, you pull him out traded during a game. The trade goes down, you get him the hell out of there, and you move on. In this case, I think they couldn't get him out of the bullpen quick enough. You go pack.
And here's another tweet from Alex. Both Posey and Melvin said they will hold off on talking about where Devers will play until they talk to him about it. Devers told Adames, a friend for 10 years, that's a good thing, that he'll fly to San Francisco tomorrow. Adames, we needed someone like him for the lineup.
No doubt about it. He needed anybody for the lineup.
Come on. Who? I mean, dear God, I still can't believe this. The Giants were able to get a guy such as Blue, what was your reaction when you saw this coming down?
Guys, two things, and I see this already on the chat. Will you guys forget about what happened in the past? Okay? When we traded guys who became stars, it happens. Okay? But I think the one thing, and this brings up a good point because I did not see Alex's thing, is when the Giants had the losing streak, before they turned around in San Diego, obviously Buster was trying to make a trade. But if you go the last 6 games, Schmidt, who wasn't even in the starting lineup, helped us win 3 games. Dominic Smith, who wasn't even playing, we got lucky, probably won us 2 games. So we're winning these games with luck, right? Guys that wouldn't
on the margins. On the margins.
And again, it's good. It's good for the first couple of weeks, but we need something that's going to last. Okay?
Yes.
You got to have something that's going to last, something that we need a jolt. Guys, we were at first place for literally 12 hours. It felt great. We didn't know we were going to be here. But because of that, we have to take the next step. Who cares if we were in first place one day? It's, are we going to be in the playoffs, and are we in first place at the end of the season? The other thing, too, is the Dodgers right now have a problem with pitching. Okay? We all know that. I mean, last night, Kershaw pitched like he was 18 again. We couldn't hit the slow curveball. That was just against us, and it was a lefty. Today we came back, which was good to see. But we are actually now probably for the first time in 3 years actually going to have a guy who deserves to bat fourth. Then you can move Adames. Then you can actually move Chapman down. You actually have a bat that actually is productive. And if you look at his stats, he's hit 2 homers. He hit one Friday, hit one today. I mean, imagine him. Devers hits a homer. They beat their arch rival Yankees, and you get traded to the West Coast. So hopefully mentally he can come out here. Adames, hey, if Adames is his friend, maybe Devers can help Adames get back to that level. And now you have 2 buddies instead of one guy that can produce. And then this could be the day that really turned this franchise around. And I think what's most important is the fans now believe. When we had Buster, we sort of had, okay, Buster's in charge, we might do this. But there's always been doubt. As I say, it's who you play and when you play them. Now the Giants are taking a level. And I thought what was great, not only did they talk about it, but, I saw Yankee fans pissed off saying, are you kidding me? Why didn't we get Devers? The Giants gave up absolutely nothing. Right? I sent you that video.
Yeah,
Eric,
Big Nick
right?
Turturro.
Yeah, he was fuming. People are upset. And what this does is this tells you the Giants doing it this early, doing it when nobody expected it, doing it at the last minute, that we're here to play. And, I know I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm super fired up for Tuesday's night game, even though we lost tonight.
You get to go
I'm
watch
really
it,
excited
man.
for the homestand. Yeah, and then now actually when I go to the games and when you guys buy the squares, you actually are going to be able to see a superstar.
There you go.
Which we haven't had.
Pedal those squares.
Yep.
100%.
So I just wanted to say that. Yeah, it's not. I mean, we're not as excited as picking up AJ Pollock, who played for 72 hours. This guy, like I said, when he comes on there, guys, he's already going to lead in stats and homers, RBIs. We're actually going to have a 300 hitter, which we sort of take for granted how good Lee's been, but he hasn't been 300 for a while.
Right.
And we're going to have someone that's going to be protecting other guys that, will be nice. So
we got a lot of lefties in this lineup too. Dan, should we do that? Should we go over who should be in the projected lineup here? I can bring up word.
Yeah, you know what? I put together a lineup, and it was pretty much identical to Dan, the caveman over on Cody's show. So he put it out on Twitter. So rather than just me retype the whole thing, I'll just put it up here because
do it.
This is what I like. I don't know if, let me see if he.
While you're doing that, Aaron donates $2. Thanks, Aaron. Goes, Devers is from the Dominican Republic, so he's actually 53.
So
all right, so
we've got so that would probably be your possible lineup. You could also flip. Well, that's kind of what the lineup I think I came up with this afternoon, looking at that. So what did
you swap Ramos and Adames though?
Ramos and Adames. I don't know.
I don't like Ramos batting in a 5. Do you?
I could go with them too. I could go with you could flip those guys. But I think this definitely makes Jung-Hoo at the top, and Dominic Smith there at first base. Casey, you got him obviously there at second base. Yaz down there at right field, and Bailey catching. This lineup is very formidable, and it could start to help some of the other guys that haven't been producing as well get going. We got some different comments here that are pretty cool here. This one, okay, I already did that one.
Yeah, you already did that one. Got another super chat in here.
Okay,
Jim.
Dan, this is literally the Luka trade in Major League Baseball. And then Johnny Cesari says, this tells you Buster is better than Farhan. Well, is that in debate yet still?
No.
It was better. The moment they got rid of that clown. Hey, look, we were here on NorCal Sports Network. Senior in 2023 was saying Buster is moving back to the Bay Area. And said that he's going to take over as the president of baseball ops. I think this move of Buster and Farhan, they didn't want to do it last year, but it was like in the works. Boom. Buster just had enough of this trash. I mean, the organization literally became a laughing stock, right? I mean, we were on here doing just commercials of and skits of Farhan. That's how, I mean, and everybody else started coming around making jokes about Farhan too. But this is a big deal. This is a really big deal with what the Giants are doing. Let me get rid of that screen there. Jim Thurkill, thank you. Does anyone think Farhan makes this trade? I don't. Posey has something Farhan didn't. Balls. Yes, correct. No way Farhan makes this trade. He was always hesitant. The only trade I'm going to give Farhan credit for is the Robbie Ray trade. That was a big, good move for the Giants, and he made that move, and that helped the club. But man, the chat's flying tonight.
It is, man. It sure is. Kind of figured it was going to happen.
Cliff Martinez, I love it. Farhan would have made this trade, except he would have asked for Trevor Story instead of Devers, since he's hitting in the 230 range.
Some truth to that.
What else do we got here, guys?
Did you star any others? No, I think you got them all. Yeah, you got them all.
Okay.
Dude, I mean, this is just it's incredible. It really is. I mean, it's
Mike's coming at Glenn here in the chat. The only person that doesn't like this trade. Oh, wait a minute. But he's had a change of heart. He's had a little time to study it and reevaluate. And hey, we all.
But Dan, I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't listen to Mike O all week. I'm not going to listen to him on Sundays in the hot corner.
Oh my gosh. So what do you think about this? Eric Clariot. What's up, Eric? Thank you for the $5. Says Devers will be a cancer once Chapman comes back. What do you think about?
No.
Yeah, Glenn's mentioned about it. What do you think?
I don't see it. I don't see it. Because
what was the whole story in Boston? Because I know he
I didn't like the way Dan started the conversation earlier tonight. Devers is going to fly in tomorrow and talk about things with the Giants. Well, you fly in, get ready to play, and play where they tell you. That's the way it should work.
I didn't say anything about that, did I?
No, that was the tweet. I just brought up that tweet. I hear what you're saying.
Was the tweet? Oh, sorry, Dan. Sorry.
No worries. It's all good.
Put words in your mouth. Sorry.
I think the Giants communicate with him like Eduardo Perez talked about. They just be upfront with him. Look, we got you here to hit. Okay. This year we need you at DH. There could be possibility first base, whatever. Third base, he's not. He would be the third best defensive third baseman on the team. He's right. Chapman, Schmidt, and then Devers. I don't think during the next few weeks you mess with anything. You put him at DH. You keep things moving, and you put Schmidt back at third. When Chapman comes back, let's say it's right after the All-Star break. Let's say Casey is playing really well. He's contributing. He's hitting better than Fitzgerald. I think what happens between now and the All-Star break between Fitzgerald and Schmidt determines who plays second base.
Okay.
That's what I see. I see who's ever contributing and making the, it should be obvious. Hopefully it's not like, they're both the same. And if you do that, I think you make the team better because now you've got Fitzgerald that can move around the diamond and step in. And
I don't like the way he's playing right now. Talking about Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I don't either. The whole thing with the way the thing came down, the reason he was discontent was they signed Bregman at the last minute, Boston, and then they did not up front ever tell what they were going to do with third base. They did not commit to Bregman, or Devers, who was playing, and it was kind of a bad communication. And I think Devers felt a little bit slighted. Look, he's their guy. They paid him 2 years ago the big, huge contract. They were like, he was the number one player on that team. And then they it would be kind of like if you had Posey playing in his kind of prime and you brought in another catcher and said, well, we're not sure if we're going to make you the catcher, Posey, or if we're not. And, Buster's like, well, wait a minute. I've been the Gold Glove MVP. You signed me for 10 years. I'm the highest paid player. And now you're going to bring in some other catcher and you're not going to tell me what the role is. And now you're going to say, okay, I'm the DH now. I no longer get to catch. I think that would piss off Buster. It would piss off any player. And the fact that Bregman still is maybe a better third baseman. Look, he signed the contract to play third base. And so he was pissed. And I think that's why.
And that's fair. That's right. It's going to be interesting how this works out. It really is.
Hey, Eric.
Man. Sir.
Do you think now I should be nervous that we actually might have a 30 home run guy? Is it possible? The Giants actually might, since Barry Bonds. I'm starting to shake. We might have a guy that can put the ball over the plate. I think what this also brings, Devers hitting hits in all directions. I know it's different at Boston, with the wall, but he powers the ball all over the place, which is almost perfect for Oracle Park. You know what I mean? He's got the short post in right, but this guy hits it everywhere. And, we always talk about the Giants. We need a guy that can make contact. And I feel so much more confident when he's up with runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs, which has been one of our major faults for the last, I say, 3 years. This is only going to help. Imagine if you get someone like him 30 times and he comes through 10 times. That's almost probably 8 to 10 more wins. And that's what the Giants were really lacking. A guy that can hit, who can hit the long ball, but he's good average-wise too. He slaps the ball all over the place. You have him and Lee. Now you have 2 guys that can sort of slap all over the place, but he has power. So I'm just excited,
There's a spray chart.
He'll hit it all over the field.
Yeah, look at this, guys.
Look at that.
ESPN talked about it tonight that 11 of his doubles at Fenway would have been homers in Oracle, so he would have 26 now. And it's not even the All-Star break.
Wow. Look at that.
Because that's a 420 in Boston. And if some of those doubles,
Yeah, that weird center field.
Yeah.
It's weirder than Oracle.
So he, to your point, as that spray chart showed there, Lou, hits the total fields. He's just not a straight pool hitter, which is huge, man, because he's a good hitter. And that's something that I've been saying for the longest time. Get a professional hitter. And if he happens to have power, well, hey, that's a plus. And the Giants now have him. Look what you got, man. This is something. What are you going to say? Go for it, Glenn.
No, I'm just thinking. Sure does expedite the chances of making the postseason, doesn't it, Eric?
Yeah.
It did. In my opinion, it still hasn't. We haven't punched any ticket to the postseason today by making a trade. Things can happen.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's certainly
it's looking better.
Chances.
Hey, Seuss donated $10 there, Dan. Who will the Giants trade for at the trading deadline? What's up, Jesus? Thank you, sir.
And you know what I told you the other night on the show? Was it Friday night, Eric? And I've said this before to Eric on our program going back to the winter months. I said, Eric, I don't want to be this team that goes like the Blue Jays or the Minnesota Twins, the Oakland Athletics at the time. I don't want to be that team that, hey, we made the playoffs. 2 days and we're gone. He said, if you're gonna go into the postseason, then it got to be reality. None of this, hey, we made the playoffs this year. Whoop-de-doo. You play on a Tuesday and a Wednesday afternoon, and then you pack your bags and go golfing. That's not postseason baseball.
Exactly.
This would give them a better chance, A, to make the playoffs, and B, to be a contender in the postseason.
To get deep in it. But yeah, so thanks again for the $10, Jesus. Trading deadline stuff. What do you think, Glenn? There's another super chat right after that, by the way.
You got another one in there?
Yeah, there's another one right after him. I'll hit it after we talk about that one. But what do you think? Trading deadline. Jesus wants to know. You think I don't think the Giants are done.
I don't know who's out there that's going to be available. I got to look at it, study it a little bit more. I think a starting pitcher is coming. I do. I think Posey understands the value of starting pitching. Mm-hmm. And I think he's going to find somebody that just lengthens that.
Like a number 4?
Yeah. I don't think an ace is coming. They already got Webb and Ray. You don't need but I think a number 4 type guy will be coming just to make sure, that your depth can handle it. We don't know how long Roop can last or Birdsong. I feel more confident with Birdsong over Roop just based on my eye test.
Verlander, we don't know how long he could go just because of his age. Only because of his age.
So I think there's a starting pitcher that's coming. And if I had to guess what else they might do, if they can find, I would not be surprised for them to take a shot at a Luis Robert to play in right field and just see if he can find his game, because he's got a ton of talent. He just hasn't put it together the last year or two. But 2 years ago, he was one of the best. He was an MVP candidate in the American League, like 37, 38 homers, hit well for average. So, and he's still young. He might just getting him out of Chicago could help.
Well, you'd be surrounding him with look. You'd be surrounding him with actual ball players too. Right, better game. Make him a better ball player, Dan.
Yeah. So I mean, it's low hanging fruit right now. You're not having to pay an arm and a leg for something like that. I thought maybe Ozuna might be an answer, but I don't think that's on the table now that you got Devers, because Ozuna's a DH only. And, unless the Giants were to figure a way, say Devers plays first, he agrees to play first base and not DH, and then you can get Ozuna for a half a year because he's not going to cost much. He's a rental. And I think they may look to add, I don't know if they're going to make a change at catcher, if they're going to go with Kinzer as the backup the whole year. He was hitting, if he can hit like he did the other night where he hit the home run, sure. But I'm not sure. Backup catchers, not that important, but, I don't know where they're at financially, because this changes things a little bit structurally because you added a big salary. I did like the idea of them going after Sean Murphy of the Braves, but I don't think you have much to give up now that the Braves would be interested in.
And you'd have to say that this is franchise altering. Somebody, Bill M says franchise altering trade. Are you crazy? It is indeed when you've got a guy for the next 8 years. This is, and you brought in a bat that arguably would never have signed here. Come on.
Yeah, correct.
So
it is. It's a huge move, man. It's 100%.
Where's Bill M's comment? What time is that at?
10:42. I'm okay. You know what? Eric has to talk me off the ledge a few nights here on the show. My God, the guys in the chat, they're either all one direction or all the other direction. They can never meet you in the middle. Eric's afraid of what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do some night, right, buddy?
I gotta always have. I'm a fireman. I got the fire extinguisher off to the side.
I even got you your own Giant Sports Talk Live
there you go.
helmet. We got our
There it is, right there.
There's a real giveaway they should do.
The fireman of the week.
We forgot to do that yesterday.
What is this super chat from Chris? Did you guys see the super chat?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. Well, there's BLM right there. It says franchise altering trade. Are you crazy? Sure, we're crazy.
Okay, we're crazy.
Chris Chang donates 150. I don't know what the NT is. Oh, I'm guessing it's Taiwanese money. Giants fan in Taiwan and absolutely thrilled by Posey's grants. Look at that, man. We're reaching across the freaking entire Pacific Ocean all the way over to Taiwan. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Woo!
All right.
And Dan, I love what you're saying with,
thanks, Chris.
You said at the very end, I think we need another catcher.
Catcher?
We need, because, I mean, right now with Bailey out, I mean, we have two guys that we're just hoping can make contact. Yeah, he got a homer the other night, but, I'd rather get, I think right now we're fine with pitching, knock on wood, as long as everyone comes back healthy. We have Wisenhunt, who's just trying to get to the pros. But I think catcher. I think,
I think catcher is a position of need. I think if Casey Schmidt can hit you 250 with some power, and we know his defense is solid, I think they'll be happy with him at second base. I think what they're seeing in Casey is, a guy with the potential to hit 20 homers, right? And Fitzgerald, he had that year last year where he just went off in a couple of weeks and hit so many, but we haven't seen anything like that out of Fitzgerald.
No.
Sean, $5 says Red Sox sweep Yankees, but can't let fans feel good about the season for more than 20 seconds before trading Devers for a bag of baseballs. Let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about the Giants.
Ironic, he hit his last at bat. He hit a home run against the Yankees.
Yes. Let's talk about this. What the Giants gave up. They gave up Harrison, who has potential to be a top of the rotation guy, but has not shown anything close to it.
And they're sending him to AAA.
Correct. He's still young, but it's not an ideal situation. He's pitching in a park that is, a short porch in left field. Of course, it's got the big right center field, but it's short down in right field down the line. And that's not ideal. Hicks, I'm not even worried about. It's a good salary dump. It makes getting rid of Hicks in the deal, at least for the next 2 seasons after this, makes Devers' deal, instead of $30 million, like $18 million a year. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you got the salary cap going up. So that's a huge deal. Tibbs is the one guy that has the potential probably to become a decent player that, he was really good at Florida State. He can hit, not a big power, huge power guy, but a contact guy. And I think the Giants were high on him. But you know what? He's probably 2 years away. And what's the old saying? Prospects are suspects until they prove otherwise. Mm-hmm. Look, I've seen so many Giants prospects that I've heard about that were going to be the greatest thing. Chris Shaw was going to be a monster home run guy. Mac Williamson, Chris Shaw, Jarrett Parker, Christian Arroyo, Jesse Foppert. My goodness, who else was there? There was just all these, and all the pitchers that were supposed to be incredible coming up.
Right.
Kyle Creek and
Tyler Beatty. And, did any of them pan out? Not a one. So, you know what? I'm not too worried about losing James Tibbs, because you know what? You got a proven commodity right now in his prime, just right smack in the middle of his prime, 28 to 32, man. You got, 28, 29, 30, 5 years of prime. Yep.
5 years of prime. So
I can't.
We don't know, Bub, how bad his injury is. Casey's injury. Hopefully it's just a contusion. Yeah, Gary Brown's another one. You know what's going to be? You know what's going to be interesting tomorrow?
American Valdez comes in with $2. Thanks, Tangy. Man, where did he pull that one from? American Valdez. What? What is that? I don't even know who that is. Lou, do you know who that is? Dan?
No.
Have you ever heard of American Valdez?
No, I have not.
He was thumbing through the media guide of yesterday on that one.
I
never heard
I have a feeling that a particular phone number is going to be getting some phone calls coming up tomorrow morning. Do the Giants actually put some live people on the phone instead of a recording? I mean, there's your season tickets, ticket services. I think there's going to, if I lived in the Bay Area right now, I would be probably looking to renew. But you call the Giants lately, and what do you get, Lou?
If you don't know the person's code, please leave a message. We'll get back to you. And it's literally still before COVID. Due to COVID, we are short on staff, but we will get back to you as soon as possible. If you do know the person's code, please punch that. If not, please leave a message. That's it. And the ball game starts in 3 hours. So I'm glad they have guys working 8-hour shifts.
Is that for the ticket services or for the?
Yeah. You want the phone number? 415-972-2000.
Oh, yeah. It's always been that one. 97. I used to call that as a kid.
Yep.
And
thank you for calling the San Francisco Giants and Oracle Park.
It's an AI.
For service and additional information, please visit our website at sfgiants.com. If you know the extension of the person you are trying to reach, please enter it now. To access the office directory, press 2. To purchase tickets, or if you are a current ticket member, press 3. For information about Oracle Park, including press
3.
4. To purchase new memberships, group tickets, or learn about suite rentals, please press 1. For single game tickets.
Of course, it's Sunday night, but
For full and premium season tickets, please press 1. For partial and flexible.
Jeez.
Thank you for calling the San Francisco Giants. Your call may be recorded for quality and assurance purposes. We are currently unable to take your call. Please leave us a message and we will return your call as soon as possible. Please leave a message after the tone.
All right.
Unable. That's what you get all the time.
Yeah.
Unable.
Let me just give the Giants a little clue. Little PR, a little bit of someone who's had their own business for over 35 years and had to run businesses. You might want to man the ticket office tomorrow with live people because, there's going to be some calls coming in tomorrow. People are going to be excited. So, yeah. Hey, Giovanni, I think you might be, I think your real name might be Mario. I'm wondering, maybe.
Hey, Dan, is it ironic? I mean, how rocking will this next weekend with the Red Sox coming in for a 3-game series Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I'm sort of surprised ESPN with all that's happening didn't make that the Sunday night game. You don't want the Giants back to back, but I mean, this is going to be a time where Friday night should be rocking. Devers against his old team, and I think how great would it be if maybe they bring up Harrison? You don't know; it's still a week away.
Oh gosh, would that be something? They bring up Harrison to come and pitch.
Well, he has to stay down there for 15 days, though, right? Once he gets delegated, or no? Or is it? I thought he had to stay up unless there was an injury.
I don't
know when they switch leagues. I don't, Eric. I don't know when you switch from the National League to American League.
I don't know
if it's that,
on a trade.
He was on the 40. He was on the 40 man. He was on the 26 man.
He's still on the 40, but he's dropping off that to the off the 26. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And what are the Giants going to do? I mean, we bring one in and we lose 2. So who's going to come up?
Well, Hicks was on the IL.
Oh, that's right.
They already brought up Lucchese today.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So Lucchese took.
And again, there's another thing.
Yeah,
He gave up a guy on the IL, Hicks. Hicks isn't even pitching for us. He's on the IL. And I think the Giants, in fact, there's an ESPN thing that I sent to Dan and Eric. ESPN counts us an A- on the Giants and Boston a B- of what they gave up, who they got, the timing and everything. So ESPN, I believe we got the better of the trade. Of course, it's only, been, 6 hours, but
there's some guys that are very ticked off in Boston.
Yeah, there is.
Very.
And that was our only superstar when you really think about it.
Yeah.
With Bergman injured.
There's what's that? Did that get sent out in a text, Eric?
Which one?
The one with the guy from Boston talking.
Oh, did I?
Where he was F this, F that. He was.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
I
think Senior I think posted that one. Senior posted a couple, and I did one that had no F-bombs in it.
Well, this guy was talking, and every other word was an F-bomb. He was just like, they're describing it. We got a guy with a 4.5 ERA and another guy with a 6.5 ERA. What the heck?
Dude, I would be, honestly, if we were the Giants and the Giants did this, we'd be doing the same thing right now. I mean, that's ridiculous. Is this reminiscent of the Mookie Betts trade?
Well,
or worse? I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, granted, Mookie Betts wound up being an MVP, but still, Devers is pretty damn good, and the Giants didn't give up shit, man.
Yeah, I don't know where
and it's happened. It's happened to Red Sox fans twice. That's got to be tough, dude.
Yeah.
To be a Boston Red Sox fan.
And this is after you sweep your arch rivals.
Yeah.
You can't win.
Oh yeah. Boston is like, the Red Sox have been kind of like the Knicks are to the Celtics. The Knicks are the stepsister of the Celtics, while the Red Sox are the stepchild to the Yankees. Even though Boston's won more world championships recently,
right?
In this particular century, they've won what, 04, 07, and
14, right?
18
or 17. No, yeah,
18.
Yeah, there it was 18.
Yeah, so they've got 3 in this century, and the Giants have 3, and they made a deal. Hey, look, the 2 top teams with the most World Series in the 21st century made a trade together.
Baird, hey, what's up, Baird? Haven't seen you in a while. Says, and they traded Root. Don't forget that. Yeah, Boston don't have their trade history. Little suspect, no?
Yeah. Hey, I got to stand up a little bit. My sciatic nerve. I'm going to just.
You go under the knife in a few days, right?
Yeah, Thursday.
You're going to see a Lou Marston sighting at Oracle Park this week?
You got tickets, Lou?
Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
I'm going to be there Friday and Sunday. I have tickets.
Ooh, against Boston.
Nice.
Yeah. Taking a day off from the House Prime Rib, eh?
No, that was last night. No, Friday night. Sorry, Friday night House Prime Rib.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I try to go, once every couple of weeks. Get my little end cut, Yosher pudding, and cream of spinach. Can't
was it busy the last few times it was
My
up there?
God,
like,
man.
Wait.
Man.
Yeah, they are not happy at in Boston on this deal. I could tell you that.
I wouldn't be either.
And the thing about Bostonians and New Yorkers, the F-bomb is like me saying when I lose yeah, and the the deal was
sent it to me. Hold on one second.
Check out Sean White. Oh, he's not happy.
Yeah, let's talk about Sean White. Hey, Sean White. Isn't that a famous snowboarder, right? Sean White?
Wicked kiss. I love it. I lived in Connecticut, and the word wicked is such a classic word.
It is. That is a Northeast thing. I'm from Boston, and we are wicked pissed. The Red Sox are dead to me. They gave Devers away for a bag of chips. John Henry needs to sell the team. Hey, thanks for the 5. Appreciate that, Sean. Hey,
thanks for Devers too.
I feel bad for you, man. I do. All right, here, let's listen to this.
Yeah,
guy.
but all teams sometimes
That's the
think
guy.
that, don't
That's
they?
the guy I'm talking about. Where
Oh,
did
I
that
saw
one
this.
come from?
Saw this earlier. Play it.
Why not?
Play it.
Gotta hit the mute.
Fox just traded Rafael Devers to the Giants for a pitcher with a 4.5 ERA and a pitcher with a 6.5 ERA. And more, though. And more. What the fuck, dude? Like, I was getting a couple of messages like an hour ago about, hey, something might be going down with Devers. I got like a DM from like a random person on Instagram being like, hey, you hearing that the Red Sox traded Devers? And it's a random person. So like, I'm not going to run with it. Then there started to be like more smoke. And I was like, there's no way. Like, there's got to be like stuff like this happens behind the scenes all the time where, you know, like we kind of hear about conversations that might be ongoing, but there's no way that they would trade Rafael Devers right now. Right. I'm like in shock because the Red Sox just swept the Yankees to get to a game over 500. They're currently in a playoff spot, and then they just traded their best hitter for a couple of pitchers that are not performing super great this year. I know Harrison's a 23-year-old, obviously, you know. I'm not even going to try to like get into like talking myself into the return. It's more just like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, what? Man, I've kind of said this before about, I guess, you know, you like to think that the front office members, they're smarter than you. They know more than you. I can't imagine we got to a place with Rafi being disgruntled or his unwillingness to play first base or play third base in the absence of Breggy, that it was just an unfixable thing. From all accounts, like from guys on the team, they're like, yeah, no, Rafi's happy. Like, you know, he's cool with us. This feels like a Breslow personal beef thing. This feels like, all right, you won't play first, then see you later. I mean, did you really need to, I don't want to say punt on the rest of the season to prove a point that it's either my way or the highway? But what the fuck? Like, I don't even want to say this, but like, if the Red Sox don't make the playoffs now, like, I think Breslow deserves to get fired. That's how I feel. Maybe it's just like emotion in the immediacy of the trade, but like, that's your franchise player who, yeah, he was pissed off because he got blindsided by the Bregman signing. Like, both sides were wrong, you know, like both sides were wrong. The Red Sox should have communicated better. I think Rafi should have handled that a little bit better too. But is that reason? I mean, the dude's having one of the best, if not the best, offensive season of his fucking career.
This guy is suffering
and
from PTSD.
as a DH, which you told him he was a DH. You made him the DH. That was you that did that. And he's holding up his end of the bargain. No, you told me I'm a DH. Now we want you to be a first baseman. You pissed him off once, you pissed him off again. And because of that, because you asked him to be a DH and he fulfilled that request, he gets traded? What, for roster flexibility? Like, what's your plan now? Like, do you have a guy waiting in the wings that's going to hit fucking 300 with a 950 OPS, 40 doubles, 30 bombs, 100 ribbies? You got that guy? He's just waiting in the wings right now? Like, way to take the fucking, the hot, like, people were so excited for the podcast tonight because the Red Sox swept the Yankees and they're back in it, and it's like they're in a playoff spot, they have a winning record, and now it's going to be a funeral. How the fuck do you trade Rafael Devers for A, that return, and B, the moment in which you did it? How? Like,
I feel bad.
There better be a fucking press conference when that plane lands, when they get out to the West Coast, and Breslow better answer every fucking question that the media has for him. This is crazy. Like,
wow.
I can't believe it. Like in the moment right now, it's made, like I found it's official. It's been official for like what, 10 minutes. I cannot believe that this happened. And I don't think it's going to be one of those things where when the dust settles, you'll understand and all is well and the Red Sox will keep on rolling. Like you traded Rafael Devers. You traded Rafael Devers. And maybe the pitchers that you got in return and whatever pieces that haven't been named, maybe they're great. Maybe they're great. But you traded Rafael Devers. This reminds me of when the A's traded Yoenis Cespedes for John Lester. But John Lester was a stud. Like, I don't know that you're getting studs back in this. And then the A's, they were like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have traded our cornerstone bat. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. And the Red Sox, I don't know. I can't fucking believe it. I can't believe it.
He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know.
He and I sound like we could be related the way that guy's going on.
Josh, what's up? Because this feels effing amazing to be on the receiving end of one of these. I know, right? I know. Gosh, dang, man. It feels pretty damn good.
Dude, you can kind of feel though where he's coming from.
Yeah,
all the things you pointed out. Beat the Yankees, moved up in playoff spot. What did you get in return?
Right.
They got to be they're doing a lot of
traded their best offensive player. That's what we're receiving, guys. Boston's pissed because they traded their best offensive player. And when he comes to us, he'll be our best offensive player.
Absolutely. Yep. Sox had another 8 years to try to fix the Devers situation. So think about it for a second. They didn't feel he was worth it. I hope he's happy in San Francisco. Here's the issue, Halgrim. He didn't return the owner's text or calls or whatever they were. Yep. And he was discontent, and the owner's writing the check. And
right on. Like,
you don't want to listen to me? Fine. I'm getting rid of your ass. That's
right. At the end of the day, he's a paid employee. The guy's a paid employee. And if he's going to say fuck you to the owner,
could you imagine? Hey guys, real quick. Imagine
have employees do that to me. Bye-bye.
Imagine the position that the manager, the GM / president of baseball operations has to feel. Do you think they wanted to do this? This is probably being directed, as you said, Dan, maybe this is being directed from the owner. There's no way the president of baseball operations or the manager would want to trade Devers. Come on. Right?
No, this isn't something that the baseball
and they got to wear it, man. They're going to be front and center. They're going to have to deal with this.
Look, the Red Sox may be going to what this signals to me, the Red Sox may be looking to spin even more off their payroll. They could be looking to go younger.
They're going younger.
They got Marcel Mayer. They got Roman Anthony. They got the second baseman Campbell. That's 3 rookies. Now you got Tibbs coming up in a year or two, another young guy, and Harrison. That's 5 guys that are
locked up.
25, and then they got these other young guys coming. They may just be saying, you know what? We don't think we can win a championship right now. Let's get younger. Let's get cheaper. And, don't be shocked if Alex Bregman gets traded, guys. You know why? He's got an opt-out.
That's right. He sure does.
He can just opt out after this season, and they get nothing.
And here's another thing, Dan. People talking about maybe him being a cancer, but here's the difference. Who is the Giants president of baseball operation?
Buster Posey.
Former Hall of Famer Buster Posey. He knows how to talk to these guys, man. Mm-hmm. And this is, as you want to call it, a lot of people I've seen talk about it, the Buster Posey effect. Right? Come on. This is going to be great because I guarantee you Buster's going to sit him down and he's going to talk to him, man. Hey, man, this is what we want. We believe in you. We made a trade. We want you on our team. We want you to be here. And, go out there and do what you do, man. And speaking of what he does, here, let's just bring this up because we haven't got a chance to do this. 14 home runs, batting .271, 57 RBIs, a .400 on-base percentage. But look at that. That's Lamont Wade Jr. on base percentage, and that's freaking much better power numbers. Slugging 494, OPS plus 149.
Wow. And look at the career, 128.
Dude, yeah, exactly. The guy is good.
Yep. Truth hurts. Wilkie Don says ever since Betts was traded, ownership has went up in flames. They didn't have to get a frontline. They didn't have get a frontline pitcher. I know Dan would never thought you could get Devers without trading Webb. Actually, not really true, because the whole thing with Webb, the reason Webb I talked about him before, and you don't trade Webb now. You don't even think about it. You're in a contention to win it all.
Correct.
I was talking about only trading Webb if the Giants were out of it at the
falling out of it.
But let me show you this particular trade, what it actually bears down. The reason it wouldn't cost so much. Look at Devers. Because of his contract, he was a minus 40. Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, and you look what the Giants gave up. Hicks was minus 18.5. So the Giants literally gave up, when you're talking 4 players, it equaled like 2. So this was what makes this trade work. Now, if the Giants were to say, let's say the Red Sox were say, you know what, we'll pay half the salary. Oh, now you're going to have to give up something like a Ramos or something like that to, or you're going to have to give up Wisenhunt and Bert. You're going to have to give up so much more. But the fact is that they got rid of that salary. And isn't Boston, aren't they buying, didn't the Red Sox buy recently a soccer team?
Yes. Yeah. The owner of the Boston Red Sox has a soccer team.
Okay. Think of this, guys. The owner of the Red Sox, the soccer team he bought was the Giants Mission Rock. Okay. But the Giants are willing to go up to the luxury tax, so to speak, but they don't want to go over it.
Mm-hmm.
But they will if there's a need, but they're not going to consistently be over it like the Dodgers. So I think the fact that they just bought that, I heard maybe a year ago that's where they were really focusing their resources.
Dan, you got a big we got a couple of super chats. Let's get to the big one first. Mentor Mac donated $100.
Oh, Mentor Mac, he was on here the other night.
Right on, man. Team chemistry we see. All right, look at that. $100 there. Holy crap.
He did a 200 one the other night too.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Mentor, man.
Mentor.
Look at this. Nice.
He's my mentor.
With that much, absolutely. Justin, he donated $10. Says Stars don't want to sign with San Francisco. They are always reportedly in on them, but they choose LA, New York, etc. So this is a way to finally get a superstar, mostly because he is considered a selfish player. See, I wonder how much that holds true, though. Everyone, I guess that's that kind of the impression that you get coming from the press. But is he really a selfish player? We don't know. It sounds like Willie Adames and him are good friends, have been for 10 years.
Look,
so I don't know. I don't know.
Look, Barry Bonds was considered an a-hole a lot too.
Yes.
And give me Barry Bonds any day of the week in his prime. I don't care what you have to say about Barry Bonds. I'll take him. And Devers, he hits, and look, sometimes guys just something rubs them the wrong way, and they get a little hair under their, what's that saying? You get a little hair in your craw or whatever it is. I don't know, but get some feather in his something, whatever. He got pissed off about something, and he didn't let it go. And he didn't like the owner or whatever. Maybe he didn't like the way they communicated with him.
Maybe.
And you know what? He's gone. I heard he was on the plane getting the charter plane to Seattle, and they had to pull him off, and he had to Uber or something back to the Fenway because he was told he was traded. Imagine if that plane had taken off 10, 15 minutes earlier. Well, he'd be in Seattle now, and then it'd just be a short flight to San Francisco.
Yep.
So at least he was going the right way. Now he's probably got time to pack all his stuff up, and he won't get here till Thursday. Watch now.
D-Shot says the correct term you're looking for is hair up your ass.
Oh, okay.
Was
I
it
didn't know something like that. Yeah. All right.
Oh my gosh. Mentor Matt comes on to say Manny replaced Brooks Robinson in one play. That's a bad boy that we love. Talking about the Orioles, right? No.
Oh, Manny Machado.
God, I almost forgot he played for the damn Orioles.
Yeah, he played for the Orioles a long time. Then he went to the Dodgers.
Then he went to the Dodgers, and now, yeah.
And then did he go from the Dodgers to the Padres, or did he go somewhere
Dodgers
else?
to the Padres. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this. Hype flips. If Adames can keep Devers happy, that's worth at least 15% of his contract.
Right. There you go. Damn.
Hey, Adames hit one up the middle tonight, got a hit, I think. He's starting to come around. I would think adding Devers to the lineup is going to make Adames, hey, look, he's not even close to being the highest player on the team anymore.
Nope.
The Giants owe like 290 or something, don't they?
Something like that, right?
Or no.
No, it's two. Wasn't
two? Let's see, 310 minus 30. That makes it 280, 250. It's probably about 265 left.
Somewhere around there, right? Yeah.
But you know what? Some of that money is deferred. Yeah, so it helps the Giants with the luxury tax because it's not all 31 million a year.
Yeah, correct.
Like 27, 28 million, and then
which is huge, which helps the club.
Yeah, and yeah, they only had 6 contracts. I looked at it going into next year. They only had 6 guys under contract for 122 million, and now you add a 7th player under contract. The 6 guy. Oh, they've got Devers on Cots now.
They got it on there now
on the Giants. Finally? Yeah, just moved him. He was a 10-year, $313 million deal from 24 through 33. So last year was the first year. So this is year 2. So it's 8.5 years left. And it's the Giants next year signed for 26. You got a calculator there, Eric?
Here, now hold on, let me get it.
I'll give you the numbers.
They got his name in there, but they don't got it reflected into CBT because it's still not 212. No way, man.
Oh yeah.
He's in there, but he's just not in there.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some numbers. 27 plus 25 plus 25 plus 17 plus 15. That's oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm scratch it. I'm looking at 25. I'm doing the wrong one. Start over. Ready? 27.
Yep.
25, 20 and 25.
Hold on. Come on, clear. 27 plus 25 plus 25.
I could have just said 50, but 23. 13. That's Adames. This is only 13 next year. That's crazy. And then 12
plus 12.
Oh no, that's Hicks. He's gone.
Minus 12.
Yeah. Why did they left Hicks on, and they got Webb 23
plus 23.
So how much is that?
136 million.
That's all they got. That's all they got signed for next year, and then all the guys that are going to make the minimum.
And then of course, then you got the guys in ARB and all that stuff. So it's probably going to be around 150.
But not many people are going to be on ARB though.
You'll have Ramos.
He's not ARB ready. Eligible.
That's right. You're right.
So this is why I say the Giants could have room for Tucker.
Wow.
They're going to have 80, 90 million under the cap.
But they do. Okay, let's talk about this. They're going to need a pitcher. Because remember, after next year, Ray is gone.
Oh no! Well, next year.
Next year.
Verlander's
gone next year. And then after that, didn't you got some holes here. You got to hope maybe Wisenhunt, maybe what's that other kid starts with a W for the Giants? He's like number 9 in the top 30, somewhere around there. Whitlock. I can't remember what the hell.
Whitman, Joe Whitman.
Whitman. He's supposed to be turning some eyes or something like that. So you might. And Dan, you were talking about trading. Do you try to trade for a Sandy Alcantara? Because this year he kind of stinks, but
yeah, he'll be
he's
good
going
next
to be
year.
Better next year, and then you have him the year after that.
If you can get Alcantara, do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the only guys they have coming back next year under contract, when we say contract, meaning a multi-year contract, is Devers, Chapman, Ray, Jung-Hoo Lee, Willie Adames, Logan Webb. That's it.
That's it.
6 guys. Same 6 guys. They just got rid of Hicks, so it's still 6. And then you got all the guys that would be, like Yaz and Rogers are free agents. And then you got Flores is, I think, a free agent. Bailey's making $780. So is Fitzgerald. So is, all the guys are making $780. That's the minimum. Miller, Ramos, Schmidt, Walker, Encarnacion was making Birdsong. All these guys. So arbitration eligible next year is Ryan Walker for arbitration year 1 and Tristan Beck.
He's probably not going to be in the
and that's it. Dominic Smith's a free agent. So they've got a ton of
money.
Ton of cash. You're talking, what did I say? What was that number?
136.
So they're going to have over, let's say they sign all the other guys. Let's say there's 20 more guys, and let's say 20 million. Okay, because they're all under $1 million.
You're talking about $90 million.
They got left to spend. They could go out and open up the vault for Kyle Tucker. And how would you like to have Tucker and Devers and Eldridge from the left side?
Oh my God, dude.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Wow. Look, I think Posey's going to go for it. I think he has a plan. Whether Tucker says, I don't want to play in San Francisco, but now all of a sudden you have some dogs to play with. It's not like, I get to go play with just Matt Chapman.
Right.
I got one of the best hitters.
And you know what?
And money talks. It
does. And hey, maybe this was the plan all along. Let's think about this real quick. Justin Marchesini. Marchesini. I'm trying to do the best I can. Red Sox fan here, just saying good luck to Rafi. I feel for Red Sox fans, man. They lost their guy. That was their guy, man. He came up with the organization, won a World Series with them. It was in 2018. Yeah, that's what you were saying. And
I don't feel bad if they were if this is Justin. Were you one of the guys saying F Draymond? Shouting F Draymond? No.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's as a fan, as a fellow baseball fan. I mean that hurts, man. That hurts. I can understand how that must feel. But this is just incredible. Look, let's talk a little bit about this. Remember what Matt Chapman said and Willie Adames said during the offseason? Posey isn't done yet. Maybe there was something there. Maybe they had this in plan. Maybe not Devers, but maybe Posey sat down with these guys and said, you know what? Hey, at the trade deadline, I'm looking to freaking go big. Right?
Yeah. Hey, we have some.
I see you, Lou.
We have some breaking news here.
We got breaking news. Let's hear it.
Let me pull it up here from baseball.
Did you miss the super chat too?
Did we miss another one?
Baseball.
There is another one. Yeah.
Baseball trade rumors: Shohei Ohtani to make his debut tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right, Glenn. You were talking about that right off the top, right?
Who's got? Oh, wow!
I think it's Will. No, Will.
Yeah, I think so. Wow!
I don't know if I would start him in his first game. That's just me. I don't know if I would do that. Again, it's the first game. You just then never know what you're going to get.
What a weird fantasy weekend. Dania beat me by about 90. Eric and I looked at it at the show last night. 103 to about 20. And today, I think he got eight points.
I didn't do well today. Yeah.
It happens. That's the thing about fantasy. You just never
know.
Hey, guys, before we forget, guys, for those of you who have been watching, for those of you who have been watching.
We got that super chat. Did you want to pull up first or?
You want to do that first? We could do that first. Hold on, let's see, because they're coming in fast and furious here. Let's go ahead and get it then. There you go. It's again from Justin Sutterfield. Again, $10. Why don't megastar sign with San Francisco? When's the last superstar chose San Francisco over other places? Adames, but that's because he got 7 years instead of 4 or 5. I think trades are the only way. Tucker will be in LA or New York, says Justin.
Yeah, and
holy crap, we got more. Anthony Hickok, what's up? $5. Thank you, sir. After the homestand, they'll be at 81 games in. 9 games with Raffy, and we may have a good idea how far this team can go halfway in. I agree. 100%. Mark Graves, been a member for 10 months. What's up, Mark? To get Tucker, it will help if Devers hits home runs at home. If he struggles to hit home runs, then Tucker goes elsewhere. All right, cool.
Also, Eric, one thing. It makes this homestand a little bit more manageable. You don't know how Boston's going to react to all this. And, if we can take 2 out of 3 from Cleveland, we definitely got a chance to possibly sweep Boston because you don't know how they're going to come back. Their best hitter's gone. They have major problems. Because of this trade, who knows how the whole entire dugout's going to react. So, again, it's who you play and when you play.
Yep. There you go. All right, let's get to this, guys. If you guys have been watching both channels, we've been helping a young lady. She's fighting a rare form of liver cancer, and what we're doing is we're selling squares. What does the squares mean? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's play the promo, and we'll get more into it.
Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network have teamed up to give back to the community. We ask for your support as we aid in Haley Busby's fight for life in her battle with liver cancer. To take part in this fundraiser, you can purchase an entry for just $20, and the winner receives 4 front row dugout seats at Oracle Park for your choice of an August 8th game versus the Washington Nationals or the August 29th game when the Giants host the Baltimore Orioles. The winner will also get an on-field experience on game day and attend batting practice. So secure your entry now as eligibility is limited. Draw date to be determined. The Busby family, Giant Sports Talk Live, and the NorCal Sports Network thank you for your participation and contribution to this worthwhile event, covering the San Francisco Giants and giving back to those in need in 2025. Giant Sports Talk Live and the NorCal Sports Network.
All right, there we go. And as you can see, we have Tommy's Mexican Restaurant and Capo's up in there. Lou, you were instrumental in working with Tommy's and Capo. What are they giving to those who win the square?
Sure. So for Capo's, if you guys are familiar with Tony's Pizza, Tony G and Grace, the GM there, was nice enough to give us a $50 gift certificate. It's very unique pizza place. They have Chicago style, Chicago deep dish, Detroit style, cracker thin, packed all the time. It's one of those places where it's a great family style food. Excellent. The pizzas are beyond. Tony's half the time is there. And they were nice enough to help us out. And then I went to Tommy's Mexican on 24th and Gary, who's celebrating their 60th anniversary. And I spoke to Julio, who's the owner, him and his family. And basically, I told him that Capo's was helping us out, and he sort of got pissed off I didn't ask him first. And he says, I'll give you a $50 gift certificate, but I want to beat Capo's. So we're also going to give a gift certificate for the world famous Tommy Margarita. So you basically get 2 dinners, a pitcher of margaritas, 4 tickets front row. You get to go on the field for batting practice, get your name on the scoreboard, and have fun. And it's for a great cause. I'm actually going to be in Reno on July 11th, and I'm going to try to meet Haley. through Kennedy, who came on the show 3 weeks ago, and get a chance to meet her. And then I was going to present her the money right there and take a photo with her. Because like I said, guys, we're all pretty lucky. I'm very lucky to have these tickets. We did it for one of Eric's friends last year. Now we're doing it for me. And, hopefully next year we can do it for one of Dan's or Glenn's or someone from the chat. So, hey, guys, we're just here to help.
I don't want that.
I hear you.
Yeah, I got it.
That's one thing
no one struggle. We're just saying friends. But I think also now is, the Giants making a big move and possibly being in first place, where when we started this, we were far away. But now
guys,
I believe it's all
and you
about
better hurry up and get the tickets. You know why? Because
there it is. I just updated it.
Giants ticket prices are going up, and so are the squares. Man, they're going to be $40 per square in a few nights because Rafael Devers. Right. I mean, hey, look, you're good. You're going to go see you're going to go see a team that's in the pennant race in August.
Yes, 100%. Look at this. You're going to see.
What are you guys waiting for?
Hey,
$20 opportunity.
There's more to this because we don't know who else we're going to pick up in the trade deadline.
That's right.
Because remember,
one for Dad today.
Both of these games are going to be after post trade deadline. So the Giants are going to look different, man. And it's going to be go time, as Buster Posey said. So there you go. There's a very few squares left, guys. They're going like hotcakes. As a matter of fact, I filled in 3 of them today. So that is the most up-to-date squares. Again, yes, you get to have fantastic tickets right next to the Giants dugout, but it's also going to a fantastic cause, guys. Can we get Los and Turd Ferguson to switch numbers? You want the lumpy turd, don't you? I want 2 to go on the 67. Let's make a trade. Since we're in the spirit of trades, let's in the spirit of trades. Trades. We're moving Los to 2 and Turd to 67. That way everything says lumpy turd. Lumpy turd. Got it. Oh man, too much fun. Anyway, if you guys are interested, let me know. I will put up the QR codes, both for Venmo or Zelle, whatever one you prefer. And then once you donate it, we'll put your name in one of the squares. Guys, I want to say something here about this because, I had my reservations when Posey was brought on. And, I was kind of like, we'll see. He's never done this. It's going to be tough. Can he, I don't know if he pulls this off if the Giants make it, but let me just say this.
Thanks, Josh.
Buster Posey won 3 world championships. He's the guy like Steph Curry who's quiet. Steph Curry's nickname is the baby face assassin. Mm-hmm. Very humble guy, but don't kid yourself what these guys are like internally. They'll cut you up on the competitive they'll cut your heart out because they want to win that bad. And what Posey is doing is reshaping a franchise. I'm telling you this. I believe this with all my heart. Buster Posey was watching from afar in Georgia and watching a farce of a franchise that was being run by Farhan Zaidi. And I guarantee you this wasn't, I shouldn't say guarantee because I don't know for a fact. It's my gut that what Buster says publicly, that this was a decision that was just made, in the last few days when it was announced he was going to be the president. I think this was in the works for over a year. And that's why he came back from Georgia to be involved with the franchise. I just think it just, no one's going to publicly say, I was thinking about this for the last year. And Senior's the one who called it. Senior, and we called it out earlier. He sniffed it out. And this is a guy who said, and don't let it kid yourself for a second what's going on in LA, that doesn't piss off Posey internally in his internal fortitude that says, This is San Francisco. We got a much more beautiful area than LA. LA's got Hollywood and it's got all their stars and all that. You can have that. You can have your smog and you can have your whatever else you want. San Francisco is a beautiful city, and there's a lot to offer in the Bay Area. And that ballpark's beautiful. And Buster Posey won 3 world championships there. And I think he would love to win 3 as an executive. And I don't think he's messing around. I think he has got a vision, and I think he has said, you know what? This isn't going to be easy, but I'm going to do it one brick at a time. And that's why I don't think the Tucker thing is out of realm of possibility next year. And that's way ahead of ourselves. But you got to start now. You got a foundation of 3 guys that are signed for a minimum of 5 years starting next year in Chapman, Adames, and Devers. And you got a young nucleus in Ramos and Schmidt and Lee. And
Birdsong.
Yeah. And if Lee has a great year next year, I'd tear up the contract and get rid of that opt-out after the 4th year.
There you go. By the way, I think we missed this. This is something pretty big.
Super chat.
Mentor Mac donates $200 for Haley. There should be a place in Nevada to go to.
Wow.
Holy crap. Mentor Mac, man.
Thank you, Mentor.
Wow. Whew.
Yeah, I think because the
specialist
of the liver cancer is in Phoenix, so she flies back every couple of times. But she does live in Carson City, so. But thank you, Mentor Mac.
Damn, dude. Much appreciated. Whew. I'm pretty sure that's hitting your account there, Dan.
Yeah, I think it might be. He was on last night.
Yeah, it doesn't go because you guys have your own. It goes to me and Glenn since we're part of the Hot Corner. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to tell you, man, I owe Lou some money. This dude has made me over $500 in the last 2 days on the horse races.
Oh, man.
He's picked every stinking race right the last 2 days. And I just followed his advice. We did a show this morning on NorCal Sports Network on Santa Anita today. We bet the first 5 races, got all 5 right, and then and we doubled down on it. We got 3, 4, and 5 race right, those 2. So we got really got double paid on it. So thanks to Lou, man. I'm telling you guys, we're going to start doing a little shows on here with horse racing, and Lou he just knows his stuff.
Look at that. And there's Lou's email right there.
Yeah, Lou at VIPSM.com.
There it is. Hey, Jim with $2 says Buster was watching a farce run by an arse. Okay. We got a poet.
Yeah.
I was kind of pissed off last night. I started the show by telling Eric, Dan, geez, what did I win last night, Eric? $239? I said, yeah, and Dan doubled it in like 2 minutes flat.
Hey, I'm going to have to eat my words maybe this year because Matt Chapman at the end of the last game of the season spoke to the fans and says, we'll be back next year. And and there's guys I'm talking to, maybe Adames was one of them. Obviously Devers wasn't involved in that, but the fact that they are putting together, they're putting together a major league team. The last 3 years, yes. 22 through 24, look, it was a glorified 4A ball club. Let's just be real.
Right. He was trying to work the margins. That's what he was trying to do.
And Posey that's why he came back. He was like, I'm having none of this. I'm a 3-time world championship. I'm an MVP. I'm a comeback player of the year. I'm a rookie of the year. I'm going to be a Hall of Famer. And this is what the franchise has become? No, I'm taking over.
Grab the bull by the horns. Justin with another $10. Holy crap, dude. These guys got money all over the place. What's your opinion? Why don't Stars want to sign in San Francisco? Bond signed because of Mason is dead. Judge was their best shot and they didn't have a shot. So is trades the only way? Haven't developed many stars. lot of questions asked there by Justin. Good questions. I mean, what do you guys think is the main reason why Giants can't sign the superstar? Is it because they don't offer the most money? Because let's do this. Has whatever player hasn't signed with the Giants, did the Giants offer the most money, or were they outbid? They've never offered the most money, right?
They did originally to Judge, but New York matched it.
Okay, but then that was it. Yeah,
they Harper, they were right there, but the bottom line is you've got to have, like Ned Coletti has always said, you've got to be a destination place. A destination place is where things are happening. Players that are stars, they want to play with other stars. They don't want to be the star. You know, LeBron James wasn't satisfied just playing in Cleveland and being the star. He wanted to go to Miami and had to hook up. Look, if you're competitive at all, you want to win. And the only way to win is to be with good players.
Fair.
The reason people looked at the Giants and didn't sign is, well, what do you have? What do you have? I mean, they had nothing.
Fair.
And if Ramos didn't come up last year and produce, and, you know, it'd be like, you have Matt Chapman? That's it. And that's not going to get it done. And Buster knows that. He needed another piece. Devers is the piece that will open up the door for future pieces. Think about it. Got him for 8 years. He's locked. So now you can move. And the key is, Mark Graves said it earlier, if Devers can pop home runs, if he can come here and the ballpark's not an issue, then you have a better shot at Tucker. So,
by the way, Kotz has updated. Giants are now at 220, so they're still $20 million.
$8 million because of the Hicks deal.
Yep.
It was they got 220, they got 22 million. And you know what? If they move off of, say, a Yaz, they can afford a $30 million player.
Yeah, they could. Well, not that much, because half of his contract will be paid down, so it's going to be a little bit less, right?
Yeah,
because he signed for 9, so it's going to be another $5 million on top.
Right, but that 30 is also 15.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I think there's another move coming. I don't think this is done yet. There's no way it's done yet. No way.
Oh, yeah, there'll be another move. I think. If I had a hunch, if I can get into Buster's head,
let's do this real quick before we get out of
here. Who's got? Let me take a look at the standings real quick. Well, I'll just look behind my head. Let me go back to the. I'll just look in the mirror here. Who's up there that's got a good pitcher at the bottom of the standings? Well, how about Boston? Do they have any good pitching? Not really. Let's see. Ooh, you could probably.
Pittsburgh?
How about go all in for Sale?
Chris Sale?
Sale from Atlanta?
He's only. You might be able to do that. I'm thinking of a rental pitcher that you don't have to give up, that would be maybe a really solid 3 that you say, you know, it's better than Birdsong and Roop and Verlander, and then you could stick them in there behind Webb and Ray.
Would you think you should probably get another bullpen arm? Because I don't like Walker. Another bullpen arm.
Walker, man. Jeez.
I would go out there and get another damn bullpen arm. You have to, because
you got to start putting Walker in when they get 8-run leads.
Yeah, exactly. I can't.
And then I'm still nervous.
I know. Exactly, right? Even then, it's not freaking.
Let me look at Glenn's roster. What do you got on here for pitching? You got. Oh, you don't have any starters anymore.
No.
Okay,
I got the best bullpen in town, man.
Right,
I need 9 bullpen guys.
All right. How about we talked about Alcantara?
Alcantara.
I can't believe Eric. Did you see somebody in the chat? Now, talk about trying to get me off the cliff tonight. Who was the only guy that said sign Sagano? I'm
Yeah, it was
the
him.
only guy. And now I read, hey, why don't we sign Sagano, Eric?
No, you're right. You are correct.
You were late to the
Hold on,
party. Don't come in. Don't be bringing the Sagano chat to the hot corner on a Sunday night, June 15th. It ain't working.
Let me
How about
see.
a guy? How about let me look up his contract. Let me see. I want to look up because
Alcantara is due 17 million, so about half of that would be paid down.
All right, I might have a guy if he's a free agent. Let's see. Let's see if this guy is a free agent. He is.
Gandhi schemes for everything.
For everything.
Okay, I got a guy that might fit. He's making 18 million this year. He's a free agent. What does Baltimore need? Young pitching. How about if we gave up somebody like a Whitman or something like that, who's a pitcher coming up?
Here, let's bring this up while we're doing it.
Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin was with Baltimore. Baltimore may be out of it by the trade deadline. He's a free agent. How about you strike for a Zach Eflin?
What's Eflin done this year?
Not much, right?
What the F has Eflin done?
What the heck?
Not much.
Zach Eflin. I'll tell you what Zach has done here in 1 second. I just got to.
Justin says he's been hurt.
Who's hurt?
I guess Eflin. That's what he's saying.
He just pitched the other night.
Did he?
He pitched well. Okay, I watched the game. Okay, here's his stat. Last week he pitched 6 2/3. He won. ERA of 1.35, a WHIP of 0.9, and he has a quality start. He only gave up 1 run in 6 2/3.
I think he just on the was season. He was
on the season. He's pitched 53 innings, 36 strikeouts, got a 4.08 ERA. That's a WHIP of 1.09. He's not a big strikeout pitcher, but he's got 6 quality starts. But he's the type of guy that if Baltimore is not in it, they're getting rid of him. They're not going to want to pay him the remaining $7-8 million that's owed.
Would you pay? I guess he's worth that. I don't know. I want to go. Maybe I'm a little bit more
bold.
A little bit more. Want to be a little bit more bold than. And look, I understand. I'm not looking for a 1 or a 2. That's for sure. I mean, there's no need to do that.
I was just looking for a free agent because I don't think Baltimore's going to lose him, and you're just looking for that rental to help you get over the top. He's a guy that can give you, 6 innings. He's probably going to have a better ERA than 4 at Oracle. I saw him pitch the other night. He pitched really, really good. He's not very consistent. That's probably the biggest issue.
Yeah, because hell, I'd rather just keep freaking Roop. I mean,
my concern is that Roop's going to run out of gas.
Yeah, that's a fact. Who would you trade out of this top 30? Because we got. They already updated it, didn't they?
Yeah, Tibbs is gone.
So Trent Harris is now in the top 10.
He's a reliever that might make it. He might make it up to the big club this year.
Yeah, Trent Harris. Maybe that's the guy that they need for the bullpen then, because he's throwing darts, right?
He's moving fast. He got promoted.
Yeah.
Keaton
Bo Davidson, Rainer Arias, Dakota Jordan. I'm sorry, that guy's crushing it, but it's a low A. Johnny Level, I don't think the top 3. I don't think are. Maybe Wisenhunt. I don't see Wisenhunt. I think the quote unquote big trades are done, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking here at the different guys that might be available via trade. Let's see. Alcantara.
He's only owed 17.
You got to find teams that are probably, like, let's say, out of the race, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a ton of them that are completely out of the race at this point. Let's see. Marcus Stroman. I don't know if he's a free agent or not.
Hell no, man.
He's not great.
Hell no, he sucks. Woo!
He's a ground ball pitcher though.
Oh, but he is nowhere near what he used to be. Remember the Giants did to him in New York? Oh.
See, these teams are all in it that I'm looking at. Guys like
Not bad, Gus. I've got 200. I'm up 223 points over Dan right now.
That's just temporary though.
I know you said that last month. Glenn won April. Let's see what he does in May.
Yeah, you're going to win May and you're going to win June and you're going to sink like the Titanic in July.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, Eric, while Dan's taking a drink, you asked a very good question. It was from the chat, why no one comes here. I think Farhan lied out of his ass. I don't think we ever bid anything close. I think every time there were 5 bidders, we came in 5th. I don't think we ever matched Ohtani because Farhan wasn't bright enough to have the exact same thing as the Dodgers, because if we would offer the same thing, I mean, listen what they said. We offered the exact same number as Ohtani and deferred money. Farhan didn't even know what the fuck deferred money was. Why? Because that was the first time it was ever done. The Dodgers did it. People flipped out. They said, we got to change it. That's why the Dodgers were ahead of the Giants until we got Buster.
Yeah, I think it'd be wise to do some deferrals. You got Devers. Look, the Giants are cash low. I mean, they got that property. They're just sitting on it, and it's just a cash cow.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we ever went to that level. You know, the only time we went to the level, we freaked out, we panicked, and that was with the shortstop who wound up going to Minnesota. That's the only time we've ever offered that much money. Everything else is a lie.
Yeah,
I don't think Judge we ever did. I don't think we were always, in a 5-team race, we were always 5th. And I think me and Dan have spoken about this. For us to get Ohtani, you should have put him in a room and said, what's the best offer you got? $600 million. We'll go $725. You got to sign right now or it's off the table. And, Dan brings up a great point. We got to be a destination. Hopefully with this could start us maybe taking baby steps to being a destination. I mean, who knows? Maybe Devers comes out and he's on fire. Right now, there's a chance. Hey, with this pitching staff, I can be on a team where we can be in every single game, and we're going to be able to get something. So
Chris Sale, by the way, has an option for next year. Other pitchers.
What about what
DeGrom? I think Texas is going to be in the race. I don't think Texas is getting rid of their ace when they're trying to win a World Series this year. I can't see it unless Texas falls apart. I don't know why the Rangers
aren't they just barely over 500 now? I think so, right?
I think they're only let me pull up the actual standings. I think they're only like a couple games out of first or in the wild card, and they're only
and they're like 500, right?
Let's see. Texas is 36-36. They're 5.5 out, and then in the wild card, Texas is 1 game out. So wow, look at the American League. Let me show you this. The American League wild card is like
it's nuts. Yeah. There's like 10 teams in there.
Look at that. Go all the way. The Orioles are only 6 out. And they're 10 under.
Yeah.
Look at that. Angels 3 out. But look at the National League.
It's a lot tighter.
You still got all the way down to the Diamondbacks 3.5 out. And I wouldn't count out the Braves. Everything below the Braves is out, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that only leaves you with 7 teams. That's why I said on our show last night, This is why it's great to make a deal like this now, because you've got such a limited crop of players available. So many teams in it down the stretch. Come trade, and not these teams are going to be in it down the stretch. But the trade deadline is the first couple of days of August. So you got such a limited window to pick players to get. So that's why you make a deal like this now, get it done, sign the paper, get Harrison the hell out of the bullpen, and get him on the plane. Let's get her done. Can't wait for this.
What, Glenn, you're spot on with that one, because look how quick. Now that the Giants have been able to get this done fairly quick, you got your heavy lifting done, man. You ain't going to compete with all these other teams, especially with those American League teams.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going
This is going to make Chapman
nice
a better.
to see us do it for a change.
This is going to make
Really
Chapman
is.
a better hitter, I think, too.
He'll see better pitches.
Yep.
All right, guys. I got to head over to the newsroom. It's Sunday night. It's 3 minutes to midnight here. So you know what I got to do. And I thought at the 2-hour mark, I've gone unscathed. We haven't had a Chardal arrival, so I'm going to get out while the getting out's good. I'm just going to get out before he arrives because it could be any minute. And Lou, good show. Dan, love having you. And Eric, love being part of it.
Hey,
I hope you have a show. I hope you have a show next week after Florida wins again. No Stanley Cup for.
Well, I got to go get the news ready. And in sports, Caitlin Channon has re-signed with the Valkyries. So big breaking news. We got to go.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord. All right.
See you guys next week.
All right. See you, man.
Hate to bail. We got to go. See you guys.
There's your banner.
Right.
Oh.
Would that even be mentioned on the local news of all the sports happening?
Oh, probably not now. Not with this big news.
What's that? What's up? What with the
Valkyries re-signed their player to a 2-year extension? I don't even know who he was even talking about.
No, it's
I don't know.
WNBA stuff.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? Well, you guys about ready? Because
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's get the hell out of
2
here,
hours,
man. This is an awesome show. Awesome show. I think we had one more. Yes, James.
Yeah, that's true. Corbin is having a big year.
I know he is. James donated $10. Whoops.
There we go.
Stuck in his craw was the saying Dan was looking for.
Thank you. Stuck in the craw.
There you go. Not hair, no feathers.
No feathers.
Good stuff. This midseason trades for McCaffrey, Butler, and Devers are gangster moves by the Bays teams.
That's right. That's right. Christian McCaffrey, Jimmy Butler, and Rafael Devers, all three big-time stars. It's nice to see. This is why, guys, if you're new to the channel or if you've old and heard it, Eric and I started NorCal Sports Network in March of 23. We were all over Farhan's ass. We were like, flies on what constantly. Nobody in the media, Bay Area media, was talking about it, but we were talking about it night after night. The beginning of 23, we were saying this guy's not fit for the job. Get him out of here. We wanted him fired at the end of the 23 season when they fired Kapler. They didn't do it, and then we talked about it all through 24, and we said we think he's gone. Look, guys. This is why, because if you had Farhan in the building, this trade would have never been made, and it certainly wouldn't have been made on June 15th. Okay?
Absolutely.
This dude would have been, changing his underwear like 5 times with 5 minutes to go before the trade deadline, and he'd be like, I don't know. Did I do it or not? I can't. I don't know. Can I do it? And he wouldn't pull the trigger to save the life of him. He would say, you know what? Give me Mark Canna. I'll take that one. That feels safe. Give me AJ Pollock. I'll do that deal. That was Farhan. Every deal, he made a savvy deal in the offseason for getting rid of Haniger and DeScofani for Robbie Ray. But look, this is what we were, and you guys, hopefully you'll understand if you've watched me for a long time, why I was rooting against the Giants last year to lose. I was happy when they lost because I knew that if they won, they were stuck with Farhan, and it was more of the same 4A crap because he wasn't qualified. Nothing wrong with the dude. He's a fine guy. He wasn't qualified for the number 1 job. He was a number 2 or 3 behind the scenes guy. So I rooted against the Giants because I love the Giants and I wanted to see them change and go in a different direction. And now I think you guys might understand that some of the people who says, oh, you're not a fan if you root against them. Well, if I rooted for him and they won last year, you still had Farhan, you'd be the same. We'd be on. We wouldn't have 400 or 500 people listening. I can guarantee you that.
That's the damn truth right there. All right, let's get the hell out of here. I'm freaking tired. This has been a good one, man.
I gotta go ice my.
Guys are back. Exactly.
Oh gosh.
Lou, it was great seeing you again, man. Keep in touch. And Dan, we'll see you next week. We'll keep in touch as well. And guys, enjoy the rest of your Father's Day night. And we'll be back at it again Sunday.
Hey, Eric and Dan, I'm taking tomorrow off. I can't take this anymore.
No.
I'm glad we have the BYE tomorrow. We play BYE and then we can get fired up for Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'm taking the day off too.
It happens.
Absolutely.
Day off tomorrow. We'll be back at it Tuesday. But hey, next time we do Hot Corner, we're going to have a new number 11 in the Giants right there. Right?
It won't be 11 though, because Carl Hubble was 11.
Oh shit! Who's it going to? What number is it going to be?
Let's end on that real quick. I think it might be number 9, Brandon Belt. What's available?
12. I don't know if he wants to go another number up.
12's available,
right? It was Joe Panic. I mean, Joe Panic was a 12.
I got a 12 right here. I got a Joe Panic. I think it might be 12 or 9. What do you guys think?
Number 1. Justin says number 1. That would be great. There you go. Number 1.
Is it? I looked earlier at the Giants retired numbers. Tired. Let's see. Okay, so what's retired is number 3, Bill Terry, 4, Mel Lott, 11, Hubble, Monty Irvin, 20, Clark, 22, Mays, 24, Bonds, 25, 27, Marichal, 30, Cepeda, 36, Perry, and 44, McCovey, also 42. But if you look at the roster, the numbers that guys have that are low numbers, Casey Schmidt has 10. That's, what other numbers is available on this roster?
Well, we'll find out tomorrow, I think, maybe, or maybe even Tuesday.
Yeah. Adames has
a
2.
Press conference tomorrow?
I would think they got to have a press conference tomorrow, right?
Yeah. You know what? I think it's going to be 9 or 12. What do you guys think?
I'll say number
9.
1.
I was thinking 4. I'm trying to think. Did the Giants is 4 retired?
Yes.
I say number 1.
Doesn't somebody have one? Nobody has it?
No one has one.
Interesting. That would be a good number. I think you might be right because it's part of 11.
Yeah.
It's got part of jerseys.
And he's going to be the face of the franchise. 100%.
Yeah, the jerseys will start selling.
Yep.
And I can't believe Boston's coming to town.
I know. That's going to be nuts. The Boston series is going to be nuts. All right. I got to get out of here. Guys.
Thank you.
Poor guy. His first night in his Giants, he has to wear the clown outfit.
All right. See you guys. Woo!